Hey guys, I'm Coach Tasha Delk.
I'm Cleo the coach. What's going on, y'all?
Yes, and we are here to tell you 3 top reasons why marriages fail. And the first reason is going to be lack of commitment.
Okay, for sure.
We're actually talking to wives in waiting. We're talking to husbands in waiting, so singles.
Right.
And we're also talking to newlyweds, as we are newlyweds. But we're also talking to people who have been married for a little bit and, may need a little bit more, seasoned than we are. But
you should be open to advice from any dynamic.
Absolutely.
Everybody has some jewels to drop, so you should definitely be open.
Absolutely, absolutely. But the first thing, we're going to go ahead and jump right into it. The first thing that we're going to dive into is the lack of commitment. And I feel like lack of commitment is one of those things that is just at the top of the charts because people don't take marriage seriously.
Very much so. They think it's a game. I very much believe so.
Yeah, and people don't take it seriously. They get into these marriages and they think it's just like peaches and cream.
Yeah.
They think it's just like roses. And I just feel like people don't understand that marriage is work.
It's definitely a lot of work.
It's a choice to have a healthy marriage. And it takes the work from both people to be able to allow that agenda to be able to go forward and to be as positive and as loving and as caring. The environment, I'll just use us as an example. Like my husband the other day kind of got offended, and he was a little irritable. He was a little irritable in his feelings, and but he had to be able to step away, deal with himself, and then come back and be like, I'm like, okay, yeah, because if you're gonna be acting like that, the morale is you bringing it down. You're bringing it down. So. And we want to make sure that we are healthy individually and then also on one accord together as husband and wife and then as parents to our children. So that is something that we really try to work on and that we do work on and that we make sure that we can correct ourselves, and then come to each other and then we discuss it and we talk about it and it's okay.
For sure.
And so the next thing that we're going to talk about is
just to stay on, I just want to just put my 2 cents in as far as just the lack of commitment side of it.
Advice.
I just feel like I just see a lot of different marriages on social media. I see a lot of just marriages that I see just in our personal life, and I think people have a very misunderstanding about, like to my wife's, a misconception about the work that it really takes on a day-to-day basis to be happily married. And I don't know if people feel like it's like they can wake up and have a choice one day, like, okay, yeah, I don't want to be married, and then I want to be married today, and I want to act like I'm a husband today, and don't act like I'm. So it takes a real, like to my wife's point, a real choice every day to put in that commitment, to put in that work, to put in that love to this woman. And you have to just be very conscious of, like to my wife's point, your energy, the things that you say, just your actions, just everything has to be pivotal in how you're moving as a husband, because it's different than a boyfriend. The boyfriend is a choice to deal with her every day or not. Once you make that commitment before God and before this woman, and you take these vows, then you're making that's another level to it. And I think people really have to grasp that, especially as men, have to grasp how we need to deal with these women and how to treat these women and how to really commit to being the husband that God is calling you to be. For sure.
No, for sure. But definitely we talk about that, how people, they think that marriage is a wedding.
I'm sorry, baby.
It's okay. No, but we talk about how we feel that people believe that marriage is a wedding, and that is all the glitz and all the glam. And so I believe that I mentioned that before, and it's just saying like there's more work to do after the wedding. Your marriage begins after
the
wedding.
That day, really.
Like,
I think we spoke on like earlier.
Well, it really begins before that, because it's like the preparation,
for sure.
To be a wife, to be a husband, and you really have to be selfless in so many different ways, and you have to learn that and go through, so.
No, for sure.
But that's a whole another subject, but definitely the lack of commitment is the main thing. It's the main reason about statistics say about 76%.
We looked on a few different.
Yeah.
We researched a few different just divorce sites and kind of seen just the statistics on we seen how we felt, and then we kind of gauged it to the statistics, and we were kind of accurate as far as with our point of view.
Yeah, and you just got so many people just. They don't really care. They don't care enough, when they get into these marriages. So it ends up being a lack of commitment.
No, for sure.
And the next thing is that we see is like infidelity and social media being a big influence on the infidelity. And we feel like my husband feels like very strongly about the sexualization that of the content that's out there.
Yeah, and just who I see a lot of just men in general just following. It's like you are inviting a lot of these temptations into your psyche, into your mind, and then you kind of engulfing yourself with all these different women, and just how just the different videos and reels and stuff that's going on. It's like, bro, if you got all this time to sit there and watch all of this stuff, you can be putting that same energy and same infatuation into that woman, into that blessing that God has created for you. And that's I say that because just watching some of the sermons and some of the pastor we choose to follow, he says these women are gifts to us, and we have to treat them as such. And so if you're spending these times just giving all of this energy into women, into things that aren't
feeding your
marriage, then it's like you're introducing this stuff instead of like all you can do is unfollow. It's just a quick little unfollow button.
But it's the access. It's easy access to different type of men and women, and it's just like you're easily influenced. So we did want to talk about that, and we wanted to touch on that, but also the comparison, like social media. It allows you to be able to compare your life. It allows you to be able to compare your husband, your wife,
your happiness,
finances, your happiness, absolutely, and just like your the chemistry. Excuse me, the chemistry that people have. Like you're able to. It's easy to be like, I want what they got. Or I see what they have. No, you gotta want what's for you.
No, for sure.
And what work for you, because what worked for us in our marriage may not be 100% what works for you in your marriage. Even just knowing each other on a deeper level allows us to be more on a intimate level, so we're able to go past all of
the surface level.
The surface, like the stuff that's surface level. So social
we barely
media
spend time on those. Like we barely spend time on social media. We barely spend time on our phones in general. Most of the time, we don't know where they at unless they're ringing. Because we're so engaged with what's really going on
in front of us. And so we think that a lot of people can be able to shift from that and have healthier marriages if they just put the phones down.
And we understand that you need it, as far as, especially if you're entrepreneurs, you're in business for yourself, you definitely need to be able to have access to social media and to be able to do your thing. But what we're saying is what you're allowing yourself to influence you in a negative way as far as your marriage. And
like the envy, jealousy,
and just the thoughts in your psyche and what's going on every day. Like, as long as you know what I'm saying, on your business, that's one thing, but just on just lurking and just spending just accessible amount of time on there is just not healthy. I feel
it's not
and it's allowing other things to happen and thoughts to manifest, and you get to so it's a whole dark road you're going down by just allowing that type of stuff just in your energy.
Yeah, but even like comparison to money and how other people do things, how they spend, and just all those different things. For the last one, we're going to talk about finances.
Yes.
Finances is one of the major reasons that marriages fail. Finances is a big part, and we just want to bring up a few things. It's like knowing that person's knowing their money habits, and then also creating good habits, better habits around the habits of the person that you're with.
For sure.
And then also just being able to know like what their status is. So knowing what their financial status, it helps you to be able to better gauge the type of financial relationship that you're going to have in your marriage. And so we also like to talk about just the financial goals and the financial spending. Are you guys saving any money?
What's the budget?
Yeah,
are you guys going over the budget? Because you constantly make sure I'm understanding what the budget is, and just personally, so
or just because we have to
communicate.
We have two totally different. We come from two totally different spending habits.
For
sure. It's like I am a little bit more controlled, whereas my husband is not as controlled.
Right.
And so it's just being able to work through those things and being able to communicate through those things and talk about finances. People have
just have those type of conversations.
Exactly. People, y'all have to have money conversations. And also like with having you got to be able to have a joint account, and then you also have to be able to have like separate accounts so that you both have your own separate money to kind of do whatever outside of the household that you guys need to do. So you got to be able to focus on the home first and then individually, because there may be some things that my husband needs to take care of for himself. There may be some things that I need to take care of for myself that we cannot afford to pull out of the home pot, and then also just making sure that you both agree with giving some charity. You both have to agree with that. Even like for us, we tithe to our church, and so that's just a 10%. That's a 10% of all income, all increase. So that's something that we do, and it's something that we're in agreement with. So that's our view, and just being able to have the hard conversations.
Because that was my biggest thing, is just being able to communicate. We know, because like my wife said, we might come from two different understandings of how we do our money. So just being able to communicate, like, okay, yeah, babe, this is what I'm on with it. This is my understanding. And just being able really just to have those type of conversations. Because I don't even think a lot of people even know, like, really what their credit history is of their spouse, so what they're making on
what they make on their jobs,
year, and, what I'm saying, like
what they're making in their businesses, how they filing their taxes. Like, there's so many questions to ask. There's so many things that you guys can discuss around finances that creates a healthy space for that financial conversation.
For sure.
Because it has to be had, and you guys got to be able to be comfortable to deal with the finances.
You might as well have a civil conversation about it instead of getting to a point where, because like you said, it got to be had one way or another. So you don't want it to be an issue where it's like, damn, bro, you spent everything in the bank account. I needed that for this, and you know what I'm saying? Then it's a whole nother issue. So you just want to make sure that you guys are communicating on what's going on a day-to-day basis,
and knowing what's coming in, what's coming in,
why it's going out, and where it's going. So yeah, for sure.
And financial expectations, like also like how do you expect that person to treat you with their money, or I mean, you know, like financially, like, you know, like, we like to get dressed up and go out. We like to, you know, hang out with each other. We love to date each other. So that's like something. And then we also saw like, the lack of intimacy. We like to make sure that we're dating each other. We like to make sure that we're affirming each other. And it makes it even better, you know, even no matter what circumstance we're going through, it makes it even better to just have that intimacy and to have that, you know, that have somebody that you could be able to share that with.
To your point, because that's really being friends first. Like, I feel like that's what makes our relationship personally click so well, is because we able to really have a friend-to-friend dynamic in a lot of different ways.
Yeah.
It's not just I'm the husband role and she's the wife role, and we have to carry ourselves in these certain different things that the world expects us to be. And it's like, no, we have a very clear understanding of who we are individually. And
no validation needed.
What our strengths are, and we're working on the weaknesses. And and she's able to challenge me on my weaknesses. Like, hey, bro, you kind of slipping here. I need you to be more on point. Like, damn, okay, you know. And I gotta be accountable. I gotta be and not take a pride for as a husband. Like, oh, my wife is trying to tell me about. Like, no, that's my homie trying to keep me on point. And I gotta be able to respect that and be able to understand, like, okay, this is a lot of the reason why we click so well, because of the extraordinary woman that she is, because of the way that she's able to challenge me in ways that I wouldn't challenge myself, and able to give it to me in ways that I don't feel like it's disrespectful, or that you're coming at me in that type of way, or you feel less of me as a man because you're challenging me in this way.
For sure.
So you gotta be, you know, in that case, a lot of men are just stuck in their pride anyway. So you gotta kind of put the egos out the door when it comes to your marriage, for sure. Because that might be another one. And they say that's why women file for divorce the most. Maybe because kings, don't know how to check the ego. You know what I mean? Like, a lot of that ego still come in, like they feel like they gotta.
Women file for divorce is the
70%
highest lack of commitment. And then you have infidelity, and then you also have finances. But then we put
infidelity,
social media comparison. We put all that kind of in one, as in, you know, because it leads to it. Sure, it helps. It fuels it. And then we also talked about finances, and then the last one. Well, we added that, and then we also added in intimacy. All right, guys, I'm Coach Tasha Delk.
Cleo the Coach.
All right, we'll see y'all next Monday.